Benim adım Kıymet Ali Bey. 16 Ekim 1944 yılında Leymosun'da doğdum. Garavolli Gurabiyesi, we call it. After 74, it changed to Leymosun Dadlısı, so that Leymosun will be also remembered. Because as you lose something, it becomes more precious. When we were in Limassol, we didn't know how valuable it's being from Limassol. Ömer dayı used to come with big lamarina full of Garavolli between the intervals of the school. He used to give it to a canteen, and we used to go and buy it from canteen, half a shilling, one. That Garavolli was a symbol of the school.
How we want it to be frothy?
Frothy and to feel that the sugar is melted in it. But I'm going to add some yogurt in it. That yogurt will help. Will help a lot.
So you recreated the recipe from your memory?
Memory and the taste. And what I have seen. I was born in Limassol, Ayos Antonio Street, and until I was 10 or 11, we were all playing with Greek children together. The mahalla was very family, is a big family with Greeks and Turks. And my childhood was very nice because we were a lot children. And we used to have very nice time because the sea was very close.
So you keep putting until you feel the dough is
Yes,
good?
dough is ready, yes. Even sometimes a little bit milk to make it. It was our favorite day before Bayram night. He used to make us shish kebab, and we used to slice the bread and come near the kebab, and she used to press the sula without very much cooking with that, tail, pieces of tail, and it was very tasty. Remember, my mother was shouting, "You're going to fill your stomach, and you're not going to eat." And after that, the charcoal becomes very nice. He used to put the tapsi with the syrup and the ekmek kadayıf between. It was almonds, not any anari, nothing. Almonds was and sugar and canela, and they put this soup and turning it until it was done, and then it was covered until it's cool, and we were waiting to eat it. I finished elementary school. Father didn't want to send me to the secondary school, but there was no union during that time, it's the women's union. And as I was a very clever student during that time, they insisted that they are going to pay. I finished the secondary school, and then my father said again, "I'm not going to send you to the university." So during that time, there was a Terra Santa school, and my elder sister said, "Okay, we are going to send some money to you, so you go to the Terra Santa school." I started getting advanced English, Greek, and typewriting. I was at the end of the last class. Last season, year that I was going to graduate from the secondary school, he started following me, but I knew that he was looking, he was a marine police, older than me. He saw my father and said that he wants to get married with me. And father said, "Why don't you get engaged?" It was okay, for me. It wasn't by force, actually. It was willing. It was 1964. This is my elder son. I was pregnant the second one.
I want to ask you, when did you first start cooking? And who taught you?
No. I'm ashamed to say I wasn't a good cooker when I was young. Because my hobby was reading books. And I didn't like many food to eat, like okra or beans, dry beans, was out of question. But when I grew up and I started having my own kitchen, I started making something with my mother, but not very important, putting kebab in the oven, but no pastry. But I used to make nice cakes, or I started eating okra, but not much, It was from Limassol it came, when I was married. I had my house separated, so I had to cook it. You cannot do it, you have two children. But I started, because I knew English, the English magazines used to give a lot of different recipes. And I started using the recipes also. Time passed and the fate took me to this side. At the age of 58, I finished my university and I wanted to have some master degree also. So I booked myself at the Eastern Mediterranean University as a public relations. And the first lesson was semiotic. It was a German teacher. And she gave me a project and she said that you are going to do semiotics on food. And so I jumped. I took a small tape recorder and I went to nearly 20 villages, asking the ladies how they do in the kitchen, where they learn. And so I started doing it, going into it. You see, I was excited as I was introducing that project. I made one cake, half white and half black. It was a carrot cake. And I brought this to the class and she was amazed. Actually, I was very young, I was 11 years old and we were all mixed. And then all of a sudden, they started falling stones to their houses, I think it was the time when Eyoka was, and the Kiymet from Turkish side. And so they decided to separate the Turks and Greeks. And so they think that it wasn't safe for them to stay with us. So they left their house and moved to the Greek side. And those houses that were empty, some of the villages that were mixed with Greeks and they were afraid, the Turks were afraid of Greeks, they came and stayed there. So after 1958 or 1959, we were all Turks there. Three spoons of one will be custard powder, two will be the flour. Until 15th of July, I was working with Tupperware. And then start trouble. On the 20th in the morning, I was my husband from the house. They start coming in collecting us from the house. Greek soldiers, but not Cypriots. Greece, from Greece. They were calling us Proherite, Proherite, Proherite. They took us, they took the men away and us into the churchyard. We were only the Antonio's Street people there, women and the children. And they said, you can go to your house, and we are going to take the other people as a prisoner from July until September. As for us, women, most of them left the city and went to stay with the English forces. I found a way every day. We used to go to the bakery, buy some chorek, and from the market some cigarettes, walking nearly a kilometer to the gymnasium, giving something to the soldiers there because I knew English, I knew Greek, and ask him just to let him come to the veranda so that I see him that he's alive. Every morning I used to go. Then once a week they accepted some food from us, and we used to cook food, put in a parcel, and the UN person used to come and collect and put them. So I didn't go to anywhere. The younger generation, I want to tell them that sometimes these history books do not write with everything right. sometimes even it's a story that doesn't mean that it is true. So the truth is, we are in the same island, small island, and they all okay. We have different, you are Muslim and I'm Greek, or I'm Greek, you're Muslim, different religions. But still we are human, and the human is our common thing, and we have to act like humans. These wars are not good. Nobody, you cannot win if you fight. So I think the common sense is to understand each other and also forget the past, not feel, even not guilty or not as if to sorry for yourself, but leave it as a experience. When you fight, what happens, or when you try to have different aims. People, humans are equal. Let the politicians discuss and see what is the common thing, what is the right thing. But for us, as a Cypriots, we have to be all together, Biscuit absorbs the cream. These are hard, they become softer. I make Garavolli. Garavolli. Another name is in Turkish is Leymosun Dadlısı. That means Limassol dessert. But our childhood was Garavolli.